You are invited to a tea party. The table is set. Welcome to the Project of the Month number 35. I'm Marty Sandell, a National Educator with Floriani. Floriani is a division of R&K Distributing. This month we will focus on tea party monograms. We'll begin by gathering our supplies. We will be using Floriani Wet and Gone tacky sheets to print on, Floriani Wet and Gone as a stabilizer, Floriani water-soluble topper, embroidery perfection tape, Floriani chrome needles, and the various types will be a Microtex 70 needle for our general embroidery, and if you choose to create a hemstitch look to our scalloped border, you will need a number 100 top stitch needle. We'll be using Floriani threads. I've used the Floriani 40 weight thread, but the 60 weight thread may be used as well for a very delicate look to your embroidery. Waltz press cloth, Floriani tool kit, and we'll be using the snippers from that kit. You will need 1 linen bun cover and 4 tea napkins. You will learn a variety of things in this lesson. How to create a monogram with the monogram tool. You'll be loading a backdrop from a scanned shape that I have provided. You'll break up the lettering so you can customize the color. And you'll copy and paste repeats of your monogram. You'll change the stitch type and thread color. Plus, rotate the monogram repeats to stitch 4 napkins in a single 8-inch hoop. This technique is one that you will use over and over for additional napkins you may wish to create. We'll begin by opening our software. I will be using the Floriani Total Control Professional for the demonstration in this lesson. However, the Floriani Essential Suite may be used as well, and we will begin by setting up our project. First, we will create a new desktop folder. This is easily done by right-clicking on your desktop, create new folder, and then name that folder POM 35. It is in this folder that we will place all portions of this lesson. We will be using the monogram tool in this lesson. You will learn to break up the text and customize the initial in the center. You will find that the size will vary for each of these depending upon the width of your letter, and this will be described in full in our software portion of the lesson as well as the printed instructions. Once you have created your monogram, you will save it as buncover.c2s or napkincorners.c2s for the 2 files that we will be creating. These will go, of course, into that POM 35 folder that you created at the beginning of the lesson. You will then save it again as your machine format of choice. And the final step will be to transfer those designs in the usual way that you do to your machine. Then we'll prepare to embroider. You'll begin by folding the corner tips in half, matching the scallops. Select the most exacting corner for your embroidery. And you'll see in the slide that there are 2 different corners that I have folded from the point backward. The corner on the top aligns perfectly, where the one on the bottom does not. So you would want to use a corner similar to the one on the top. You will then print templates onto Wet and Gone tacky. These templates have been provided for you in the lesson. You'll notice the 2 templates here. The one on the left is for your 4 napkins, and the one on the right is for the bun cover. You will remove the release paper with the sticky side up. This will allow you to match your scallops to the printed shape as shown. And then it will be time to embroider. From the wrong side, you can see that I have added an additional layer of wet and gone. This is providing me some stabilization for my embroidery. You will then hoop the 2 layers of wet and gone together, and you'll place a water-soluble topper on top. This will be held in place with the embroidery perfection tape. Your completed embroidery will look like this when you're finished. Once your embroidery has been completed, you will remove it from the hoop. At that time, take your embroidery to your ironing board. Cover it with waltz press cloth. Hold the iron above the surface and give it about 5 or 6 good shots of steam. The iron will be held about 1.5 inches above the press cloth. This will allow the embroidery to come to the surface. From there, you will remove your water-soluble topper and remove whatever excess you can either pull away or cut away of the wet and gone from the reverse side of your embroidery. Then we'll do our napkins in the hoop, and let's prepare to embroider. Once again, you're going to select the most perfect napkin corner. If you notice in the slide, the corner on the right has a very sharp corner, where the one on the left is irregular. So as we put our 4 napkins together, you're going to want to select the best corner. Before embroidering, be sure to remove the label. We will print the template for the napkins. And as I mentioned before, this is provided for you in your lesson file. You'll remove the release paper, and then you're going to position the corners of your napkins together as shown. Place a piece of wet and gone beneath those napkins on the underside. This is going to provide additional stabilization for you as you stitch. You'll hoop it all together, and once again you'll add water-soluble topper to the surface. And this is just a review of the underside of the hooped napkin project. You notice that my napkins are extending on either side. So what we want to do is roll the overhanging napkin portion and secure it in place with embroidery perfection tape. This will ensure us that none of the napkins will get caught underneath our crucial corners. Once the embroidery is complete, you will remove the embroidery from the hoop. And then place your embroidery right side up with waltz press cloth on top, and hold the iron above the surface as you did before to steam the embroidery. Once you have completed this, be sure to remove whatever excess topper or wet and gone that you can before soaking your embroidery to remove the soluble portions. You'll need to do this with both your bun cover as well as your napkins. Once you have done this, I want to share a tea lover's best laundry tips. This comes from my godmother. Now promise that you won't laugh. Lay your wet embroidery perfectly flat on a tile surface, smoothing out the edges. You may do this with your fingertips or either with a dampened towel until it's perfectly smooth all the way to the edges. Or you may plaster your napkins on a tile wall. They will dry perfectly flat and block. Video instructions will follow in the software portion of this project. Plus, there are printed illustrated instructions so that you can recreate this project again at home. Enjoy your tea party. Thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you again with other fun projects of the month.